Hello and welcome to my small kitchen. It is January 20th, 2021 and day 17 of my journey. And you might have noticed, apart from friends, family and doing things for myself like sports, maybe yoga or mindfulness meditation, a big part of my well-being is based on good food. So what I would like to share with you today is a recipe that my daughter introduced to us when she was last here in October. And it's actually a dish called Shakshuka. It comes from Israel. It's probably not the original recipe. I like to modify things just a bit to my taste. And I'm not having breakfast, I am fixing lunch right now. So first I would like to show you just briefly the most important ingredients. It's shallots. It's garlic. I always take the fresh garlic. I think I mentioned that before. It just tastes so much better. You need eggs. So these are the basics that you definitely always need for this dish. You need passata. You need tomato puree. You need, I love spinach. That's why I always love to take fresh spinach with this. I do like it a bit spicy, that's why I have these wonderful, wicked little chilies, and one is definitely enough, so I just always take one of these. I will add some brown mushrooms today as well as a few cherry tomatoes. So that's essentially it, and I will start chopping away and show you how it's done then. So after chopping some things up, I will get this started, and you will need your oven. So I'm also going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees. This awful noise it makes, but it is what it is. Then you just need a bit of olive oil, not too much, not too little, just a bit. And you start with the onions and the chili I chopped. So, and whenever there's onions and or tomatoes involved, I always add a bit of sugar to it. It just like with when you bake something, you always need a pinch of salt. You always need a bit of sugar just to get the taste. Not that much, just a bit. And I like to take coconut flour sugar, which is very, very nice. And I forgot to mention I think two really important ingredients. The one is cumin, and I always take the whole cumin and grind it myself because it gives this lovely oriental flavor. Take quite a bit of it because I absolutely love it. And the other one is feta cheese, which is also one of the very, very important ingredients to this wonderful, wonderful dish. So let's get this going. Make it very, very fine because you don't want to chew on the cumin itself. You just want it really, really round to a fine powder. Oh God, there's something underneath that's just a bit of water, that's fine. Nothing happening here. So there we go. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It smells absolutely gorgeous. So, that's done. Spoon, stir it up a bit. There we go. So you just let that fry a bit. And in the meantime, you can cut the rest. You can cut your tomatoes. Get that out of the way. I just quarter them. I don't want them too small. I still want to taste them. They do add a freshness to it. See, this is what happens. Just rinse it again. And this is smelling nice already as well. Sizzling away. So there we go. We have that prepared. You can already add some of the cumin to this. Like I said, I take a lot because I love the taste of it. I love this And it does make the dish what it actually is. I prepared it for a friend and she didn't have any there. And she did it herself afterwards again with cumin, and she said it does make a world of difference. So there we go. And you can add your mushrooms, which are not mandatory. I just do it now because I want a little more veggies in there. You can use anything you want or nothing. You can use zucchinis, you can use bell peppers, whatever you have, whatever whatever needs to go. So that's that. And with mushrooms you will probably have to add just a tad more olive oil. There we go. Oh, this is fun. And it's really smelling so good. And what you can also add now is the garlic. I just don't add it in the very beginning with the onion. Oh, this is a tough one. Because I don't want it to burn. But the fresh garlic there's such a huge difference between using fresh garlic and the dry garlic. And it doesn't have the same taste, it doesn't even have the same smell, and it doesn't speak to you for days, to be honest. So that's I find that very, very pleasant. So there we have that. This is looking good already. I love it. So next, we put in not the spinach yet. We put in a bit of the tomato puree. Not too much, just a bit. You can always put more in there because I like to fry it a bit. It almost roasts a bit with the onions, the garlic, the chili, and the mushrooms, which is quite lovely. There we go. Oh, this is getting better and better. Can't wait to eat it. So next you add the spinach. I know this looks like a lot, and with a small pan, you can of course, if you make it for more people, you can make it a lot bigger, and you can use more spinach then. And if you don't like spinach, leave it out or use something else. Maybe I should have taken a bigger pan. It's only for my son and me, so today. So you just wait till it goes down, and it doesn't take very long. So the spinach is almost ready, it's almost finished. And you can see there's not that much left now. It looked a lot in the beginning. And now what you can do is you can add the passata. There you go. Be very generous with that. There you go. I just put everything in there. This is wonderful. Let that simmer a bit, but you can turn down the heat now. Doesn't need that much anymore. Now you can start adding salt and pepper. I always take sea salt without any extras added in there, just the salt. And I like to grind it fresh. There we go. And what I absolutely love, I don't have a pepper mill. Well, I do have one, but I don't really use it. But I use this. This is actually a Moroccan mocha mill, which is brilliant for pepper. There we go. That's that. Perfect. This is going to be so good. I can't wait. There we go. Just stir it nicely. Let it simmer a bit longer. Now with the, oops, be careful. Go. Can have a little taste. This, that chili was really good. Wow, I like. This is going to be really good. And I put in the tomatoes. There we go. I think it can have just a little more of the cumin. As I said, I love that oriental taste. So there we go. that simmer in as well, just a little longer. And what you do then is, it can be a bit tricky getting the eggs in there, because you have to be really, really careful. There we go. And you almost make, or you try to make a little nest in your sauce, or whatever you want to call this, your stew, and get the egg right in there. There you go. Oops, that's not supposed to happen. There you go. That's perfect. The second one, and you can use as many eggs, of course, as you like. Doesn't really matter. Depends on how much you actually can get into your pan. So I've done it for several people for breakfast, and I've had a huge pan with, I think, 6 or 8 eggs. That works just as well. Same principle, just more for more people. So just a second, just clean that. So what you do now is, of course, you need to salt that a bit. Well, not too much, because there's already enough spice and everything in the sauce. And then just a bit of pepper. There we are. And now comes the lovely part. Oh, it's bubbling nicely. And now you put some feta cheese. I just take my fingers and just crumble it over everything. There you go. There again, it's always, I'm not much for measurements. Just take as much or as little as you like. It's always up to you, to your taste, and what flavors you want. So there we go. I like a generous lot. I'll just take the rest of this, I think. There we go. Over the eggs, over everything. Just crumble it, the pieces shouldn't be too big. There we go. And now comes the most difficult part, actually, because you put it in the oven now, and the difficult part is you have to wait till it's finished. So there we go. The oven is preheated. Perfect. And you just stick it in there and leave it in. It always depends for how long you leave it in there. It depends on how you want the eggs to be. If you want them to be very hard, leave it in a bit longer. If not, I just give it a little shake, and I can see if the egg white is gotten hard and the egg yolk is still soft. That's how I like it best. And I'll show you the result as soon as it's finished. So, the shakshuka is finished. I just have to get it out of the oven. Let's turn that off though. Oh, just that smell coming out of there is absolutely delightful. Get that back on there. Now look at that. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like. It's fabulous. So all that's left to do is get it on your plate, which is very simple most of the time. So you take the egg first and all the rest around it, which is just absolutely delightful. And you can enjoy it just as it is, or with some bread. And if you want to cook that for yourself, just go for it. And of course I have music for you today as well. And I chose Pata Pata by Miriam Makeba, which is perfect, I think, for this dish. So tune in again tomorrow if you will, and let's see what joys I will have then. Take care. Bye bye.